Just last month, Javier Milei, known as the Trump of South America, was elected president of Argentina. During the campaign, he threatened that once he came to power, he would definitely break off diplomatic relations with China and Russia. After returning from his visit to the United States, he posted on social media that Argentina would not join the BRICS and seemed to intend to sever all ties with China. But it didn't take long for Milei to change his stance on China. It is reported that on December 10th, Milei officially held an inauguration ceremony and vowed to make Argentina a world power again within 35 years. At the ceremony, he told Chinese representatives that Argentina would adhere to the One China principle and carry out various cooperation with China in the fields of economy, trade, and people-to-people exchanges to ensure the in-depth development of bilateral relations. This is completely different from Milei's previous attitude towards China. So what is the reason for this change? Data shows that Argentina currently faces nearly $300 billion in foreign debt, but its US dollar foreign exchange reserves cannot support future debt repayments. At the same time, Argentina's inflation rate remains high, significantly raising the country's trade costs. For the new government, the only way to get out of trouble is to rebuild foreign exchange reserves. The main reason why Milei seeks help from China is to solve this problem, and this is the best option he can think of at present. First of all, Argentina has a precedent of using RMB to repay debt, which shows that this method is feasible. Secondly, the currency swap agreement signed by China and Afghanistan last year is valid for 3 years. As long as the relationship between the two countries can remain stable, the smooth progress of the agreement can be ensured to a large extent. In this regard, some analysts believe that Milei said some nice things in front of the Chinese delegation, possibly hoping that China would agree to expand currency swaps. However, expanding China-Arab local currency swaps faces at least 2 major risks. First of all, Argentina has not repaid its debt to China, and increasing foreign debt is not a good thing. Secondly, the shock therapy promoted by Milei has caused the Argentine peso to intensify its depreciation. If China provides assistance, it will be difficult to protect its own interests from damage. Secondly, another important reason why Milei turned to China at this time is that he had hit a wall in the United States before. As Milei said during the campaign, he would strengthen ties with countries in the free world like the United States. Therefore, before taking office, Milei made the United States the first stop of his visit. Unfortunately, however, the Biden administration did not show much enthusiasm for Milei's overtures. Of course, the Biden administration's reaction is understandable. Milei has always claimed that he is a supporter of Trump. Against the backdrop of increasingly fierce partisan struggles in the United States, the Biden administration will naturally not be too friendly to Milei. In addition, Milei's trip is to obtain financial assistance, and the United States currently needs to spend a lot of money to deal with the conflicts between Russia and Ukraine and Palestine and Israel. It is also facing problems such as debt crisis and high inflation rate, so it cannot pay too much attention to Argentina. More importantly, from a geopolitical perspective, South American countries represented by Argentina are not the primary focus of U.S. diplomacy. The reason why the United States strengthens ties with these countries is ultimately to undermine China's cooperation with them. In other words, only by getting closer to China can we gain more attention from the United States. Milei has previously shown a repulsive attitude towards China. For the United States, his win-win value has naturally decreased. In response to Milei's request for help, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs also responded. They emphasized the strategic height and long-term perspective of China-Arab relations. In other words, if Milei is only pursuing short-term interests or just wants to discuss common interests with China in the economic and trade field, then China must treat cooperation with Argentina very carefully.